Hello, and welcome to a rather impromptu episode of the Startup Sessions. As you may know, normally the Startup Sessions take place on a Thursday evening, and this week I've decided to mix things up a little. I often say to people that it's a good idea to test in your business to see what works and what doesn't work, and so I'm practicing what I preach, and I'm testing both a new day and a new time. Just to see, really, out of interest, to see how it works. So here we are on a Friday morning at 10:15, and I'm here to talk to you about 7 ways that your content can make or break your business. And the reason I'm talking about this today is because May is my month devoted to all things content. So before we dive into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Colette Broomhead, and I work as a startup strategist, which basically means that I work with new online business owners or people who want to be an online business owner but haven't actually started yet. And who basically want to build an online business so that they have more freedom in their life, freedom to work where they want, at what time they want, and to earn the money that they want, because all of those things are restricted and impacted by external forces when you work in corporate. And it's something that so many people want, is that freedom. So I'm here to help as many people as possible to get just that. And my startup sessions are really just an opportunity to come and chat to you about different business related topics and to help you along the way. So if you're watching this live or if you're watching it in the replay, give me a wave, say hello, tell me a bit about yourself too. And with that, I shall dive into today's topic, and I'm just going to keep an eye out, first of all, to make sure that I am live. Anyone who's watched a number of my lives may know that I do occasionally struggle with technology. So I'm always extra careful now. I've done full Facebook Lives without realising that I was never live in the first place before. I've done full Facebook Lives without realising that my microphone was turned off. So yes, I'm always a little bit cautious now to make sure that everything is working the way it should. But there I am, I seem to be live. So with that, let's dive in. So today's topic, content and how it can make or break your business. As an online business owner, you cannot escape content. You cannot build an online business, or in fact any business, without content in some shape or form. Just think about all the different things that you have as part of your online business. Your website requires content. Your email marketing requires content. Social media requires content. If you're blogging or podcasting or making videos, they all require content. So content is an absolute key foundation of any, especially on any business, but especially online business. So if you can't get your content right, then you have a problem. And really, there's kind of 3 layers of content, of kind of achievement levels, shall we say. Spot the gamer over here. When it comes to your content. So if you can create content that's interesting to your ideal readers, your ideal audience, your target market, whatever you want to call them, then that's a big thumbs up. That's an achievement. A lot of people aren't even managing that. So if you can create something that you know that your ideal clients are going to be interested in, then that's a big tick. If you can create content that they're not only interested in, but that captures them so much that they will actually remember that and perhaps even share it with their friends or family, then that's 2 big ticks, because that's the next step up. That's actually creating some kind of impact with your content. But the absolute kind of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow when it comes to your content is being able to create content that actually moves people to action, that converts them, whether that be converts them to sign up for your email list, converts them to follow you on social media, or of course converts them to buy from you. I mean, that's the ultimate, isn't it? if you can start consistently creating content that can actually move your audience to action in some way, then you are onto a winner, and your business is going to flourish, because that is the key. So there's going to be more on that later. In fact, next week I've got an entire free workshop all about how to create content that converts. So if you're interested in signing up for that, it's completely free. I will pop the link in the comments so you can do just that. But let's get back to today's topic. So exactly what is the impact of content in your business? And I've got 7 key points that I want to take you through, where your content can either be a massive kind of power for good, or power for kind of destruction in your business, depending on how you're creating that content and the thought that you're giving it. So let's look at number 1. Your content has the power to attract your ideal clients, and you need to be able to do that. That's kind of step 1. Once you've got your business set up, next step is you need to actually find an audience. You need to find people to sell to, and those people should be your ideal clients, because otherwise they're very unlikely to buy from you. So you need to go out and find your ideal clients and attract them to you in some way. And it's your content that's going to do that. So number 1, big power your content has is to attract those ideal clients. And of course, the opposite is true too. If you're not creating content that's attracting your ideal clients, you may well be creating content that is repelling them. And I kind of mentioned I have a blog post on this topic too, which was published on Monday, so go and check that out. But in that, I talk about the importance of actually repelling some people with your content. So you don't want to attract everyone with your content. You do only want to attract your ideal clients. So your content should be pulling those towards you, while also gently pushing others away and letting them know that you're not for them. So you need to be thinking about how you can attract the right people and gently repel the people who aren't right. And if your content can do that, then that's a really powerful tool for you. The second point I wanted to make was that your content creates authority for you. And when you're just starting out in business, that is absolutely key too, because it's really difficult when you first set up an online business. It feels like you're a tiny fish in a massive ocean, because you are. The world of online business is huge, and there are hundreds of thousands of businesses out there. So if you can use your content to build your authority and to help you stand out from your competitors, then that's a really powerful thing too. But equally, pardon me, done wrong, your power can do your content, can do the opposite. So, for example, if you're coming out with content that's factually incorrect, or that is abusive or upsetting or controversial in some way, then that can potentially damage your authority and actually have a detrimental impact on your business. If it's full of typos or mistakes, then that can have a detrimental impact. So your content can absolutely boost your authority. It can build your credibility. It can set you aside from your competitors, but it can do the opposite if you're not doing it right, and if you're not careful and thoughtful about the content that you're creating and how you're creating it. Is that Deborah? I see you. Hello, nice to see you. So my third point, so another way in which your content can be a power for good or bad in your business, is it can grow your audience. So we talked about attracting your ideal clients, but it can also help to grow your audience in other ways as well. So if you're creating content that people want to share, then that in itself can grow your audience. You could be creating content that other people want to use on their sites. You could be doing guest content. There's all sorts of types of content that you can use that's actually going to grow your audience too. But again, if you're not thinking about how you're creating content and the types of content that you're creating, then you could actually be spending, let's face it, most of us spend most of our time creating content. Deborah, you and I had a conversation about this today, I think it was. We were saying, how brilliant it is when you actually manage to get ahead of your content. If you manage to kind of batch produce it and get it done for the month, and then you can focus. That frees up so much time, because content takes so much time. And if you're not doing it right, and if you're not kind of giving it that thought and giving it that care that it deserves, then actually all that time that you're taking with it is a waste of time. Instead of, if you're doing it right, it's a really good use of your time. It's a really valuable use of your time. But if you're not, then it's a complete waste of your time, and your time is precious. Think about the content that you're creating. Don't create content for the sake of content, but give it some thought. Think about your ideal clients. Think about what's going to help them, what's going to provide them value, and make sure that that time is well spent. My next point is your brand. So I like to think of a business's brand, especially an online business, as their personality. When you are your business, when it's a personal brand, your brand is basically your business personality. And most of the time, especially with personal brands, of course, the business personality is going to be your personality, because you are the business. And so your content is, the best way that you can, let me see if I can move that. The best way that you can reflect that personality. And Deborah says, actually, I'm going to play with this, Deborah. I'm trying a new thing with BeLive where you can actually show comments. Can I move that? No, why is it showing it up there? That seems a bit of a shame, doesn't it? An odd place to put the comment, right in the way. Is that showing like that? Oh no, it's all right. On my screen, it's showing right across my face, and so I thought that's how it was showing for you. Anyway, sorry, I was distracted by tech again. So, Monica, that's so true on content. Because of my business psychologist, I have to be very careful, even on social media, not to down on one side of a debate at times. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it's that thing, and I'm amazed at how often I see that where business owners are, really kind of getting stuck in on social media. I think sometimes on social media we forget. People forget that they are representing their business, and you see some quite shocking behaviour, quite frankly, that would really put me off working with them. Yeah, absolutely, it's so easy, especially on social media, I think, to forget that, and that's, it's even more important in those situations to remember that your content is a reflection of your brand and your business, and that everything that you put out there is a reflection of not just you, but your business as well. So yeah, that's a really, really great example of exactly where your content can either build or damage your brand. Okay. My fifth point is all around advocacy. And by that, I'm basically talking about kind of customer loyalty and creating a group of people who feel loyal enough to your business, to your brand, that they will perhaps tell friends and family about them, and they will kind of speak about you positively, which is a hugely powerful form of marketing in itself. Customer referral and customer advocacy is so much more powerful. Someone else saying, yes, this person's great, is of course so much powerful than you saying, yes, I'm great, because it's more believable. If people can see that your customers are saying that you're great, then they're much more likely to believe that than just you kind of sitting there going, honestly, I'm great. So if you can create content that will encourage that kind of advocacy, then that's a massively, massively powerful tool for your business. So sort of always, have that in mind when you're creating content. How can I use this content to encourage advocacy in the people who digest it, read it, listen to it, watch it, whatever the type of content it is. It could be a simple call to action. If you found this helpful, why not share it with your friends? Or if you know someone else who would find this helpful, please do share it with them. It could be as simple as that. So it can be, as simple as something like a call to action in a blog post, or, at the end of a video or a Facebook Live or whatever. But also it can be just the way that you are with your ongoing content, by reflecting your personality, by reflecting your brand, by attracting those people who are your ideal clients, you are naturally creating advocates, because by being you, by creating that consistent content, by providing consistent value, people will start to feel loyal towards you. Your ideal clients will, because you are, it's a relationship building exercise. You are there showing that you can be trusted, and that you can provide a good service, and you're doing that through your content. So really think, actually, you might kind of think, well, is it really that important that I be consistent, or that, that I show up and give this value? Or maybe this week I'll just kind of rush it and I won't really give it much thought, because is it really that important? Yes, it is, because that's how you build that loyalty. That's how you build that advocacy. You may have attracted your ideal clients, but if you're not consistently providing that value, they're soon going to go away again, and they're soon going to find someone else to go and listen to, or watch, or read. So think about not just attracting people, but keeping them and building that relationship with them, and encouraging that advocacy. And because of course the opposite is also true, and that's apathy, and that's kind of turning up and kind of going, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. So you've attracted them, but actually you haven't really managed to keep them. And so the effort that you put into attracting them in the first place was also then a waste of time, because you haven't managed to maximize that opportunity, that opportunity to build a relationship and to build an advocate for your business. Okay, number 6, we're getting there now. Number 6. So this is a slightly different twist on content, and the power of content. And I'm talking about here actually insights into your customers. Again, we spend all this time creating this content and putting it out there. And generally speaking, the focus is all on, and rightly so, attracting people and doing it from a marketing perspective, and using it to do all those things that we've just talked about. So to attract your ideal clients, to build a relationship with them, and so on. Very little thought generally is given to the actual insights that you can get from the content that you're putting out there about your customers. So by looking at the types of things that they engage with most, which blog posts tend to get most views, which social media posts tend to get most sort of likes or shares or comments. All of that is giving you really, really, really valuable insights into your audience and to what they like and what they don't like. And if you're not noting that and using it to then build on your content planning in the future, then you're missing a huge opportunity to really kind of improve your content as you go forward by listening to what your customers are telling you. If even not vocally, of course that's important as well. If you're getting actual feedback and getting things, putting things out like surveys, of course that's also going to give you huge insight. But just by observing their behavior and observing, what is it they seem to like, what is it they seem to not really be bothered about, and taking that on board and using it when you go to plan future content. That's a massive, real powerful tool for your business as well. So number 6 is all around the audience insights and the power that could give your business if you bother to sort of make a note of them and use them for your planning in the future. And then my final point, of course, the ultimate purpose of your content is to sell. And this takes me back to right at the start of this Facebook Live when I was talking about those 3 kind of achievement levels of content that you've got. So, Deborah, I don't think you joined at this point, so I'll repeat them. Basically, I was saying, most of us are happy if we can create content that is interesting to our ideal clients. We've done a pretty good job. We've bothered to kind of identify who our ideal clients are. We're not just trying to, put random content out for everyone. And it's doing a good job of attracting their attention and interesting them. And that's a tick. You're doing a good job if you can do that. The next step is to be able to not just interest them, but actually engage people enough that they remember your content and they perhaps share it with friends or family, and they like it enough that they're going to perhaps come back and check out your next piece of content, and they're going to become perhaps a regular reader, consumer of your content. That's another big tick. The third tick is really where your business starts to grow, because all that's great, but at that point you're not selling anything. You know, you're creating interest and you're creating a bit of buzz, perhaps creating some advocates, and that's all great, but you haven't sold anything yet. And this is a business and you need to make money. So actually you need the third level, and that is creating content that actually moves people to action. And that is where a lot of people fall down. A lot of people haven't really thought it that far, that, you know, people focus on what can I create that's going to attract my audience. And that's great, because you do need to do that. But actually, you need to take it to that third level too. And you need to be thinking about how you can create content that will actually convert people and that will inspire them into action. So they're not just reading, they're not just consuming and thinking, yeah, this is great, this is really valuable, but they're going that next step. And that type of content is the real gold of, you know, if you want your business to grow, if you want your business to flourish, then you need to know how to create that type of content on a consistent basis. And that is what my workshop on Thursday is all about. So next Thursday, I'm having problems with this ideal client as my client. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you having problems getting clear on who your ideal client is? Let me know. So my workshop on Thursday is all about how you can create content that converts. And I'm basically giving you 3 really simple strategies that you can start implementing straight away. They're actually quite simple and easy tweaks that you can make to the content that you're probably producing already that can make a big difference. So if you're interested in coming along to that, I will pop the link in the comments so that you can register. It's completely free. The workshop itself takes place next Thursday at 7 p.m. and that's British Standard Time. If you can't make it live, don't worry. By registering, you will also be sent the replay so you can watch it anytime you like. So I'll pop the link in the comments, and do sign up for that if you are interested in learning how to create content that converts. Deborah, I'm just going to hang about and see if you come back to me about your ideal client. But yes, so that's it. So content is you know, a massive part of your business. So really make sure you give it the thought it deserves. As my client range is so broad. Yeah, so what I tend to say to people is, initially, when your numbers are still quite low, when you're getting started and you're still trying to kind of build an audience, then make it as specific as possible. So while you probably, you know, you can help a very broad audience. I know you can, because I know you're highly qualified and experienced. And so the temptation is to try and reach that whole audience straight away. But what you might find is, if you can focus in on a specific audience for now, you will attract those people much more easily. So as an example, I know I'm subscribed to your email list, and I know that recently you did an email about bipolar disorder. Now, I have someone in my family with bipolar disorder, and so it was of huge interest to me, and so I clicked on that. And if you can, you know, I'm not saying it has to be bipolar, but if you can pick a specific area like that, I think that you will attract people, because, you know, I would want to go. So, for example, if you had a Facebook group, I would want to join a Facebook group for, you know, supporting family, you know, family who have got bipolar in their family. You know, I'd be more interested in something that was specifically bipolar than something that was mental health issues all round. You know, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if you can get more specific and think about, you know, what you're most sort of comfortable with, perhaps there's an area that you're most comfortable with, or that you most enjoy talking about, or a specific group of people that you most enjoy helping. And I'm not saying that you then have to restrict yourself to that group forever, but in order to grow, you'll probably find that you grow much faster if you get really specific to one particular group of people for the time being, focus on them, and then as your name gets out there and as your reputation builds, then you can start to kind of bring in additional elements. And you'll see that if you look at other kind of big online businesses, most of them have started out with one specific little niche and then gradually built from there. So that would definitely be my advice. Deborah, brilliant talk. Yeah, loads of it. Great. Thank you so much. And thanks so much for joining live. It's really nice to have someone there so that you feel like you're actually talking to someone live. So yeah, lovely to see you. And thanks for all your nice comments. And yeah, I hope that helps. All right, take care. With that, I shall wish you a very happy rest of your Friday, a happy weekend. And I hope to see you at the workshop on Thursday. Take care. Bye.